baby.
What was that?
What is going on?
I'm just getting all into it. That was just like Lex Luger's theme music from 1991.
That was killer, man. I loved it. I was rocking out.
Uncle Bill, your audio ain't working, pal.
We censored him early.
Wait.
All right, well, you're on now.
We're live, buddy.
We're live, pal.
Look, I fucking got in here anyway. So kiss my tits.
What's going on? Were you working on that edition? You were like, oh shoot, I got a show, man.
Yeah, I had to knock out the rest of the wall to put up my figures and shit for that guy that wanted me to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one random guy who's not in here anymore. I don't know what the fuck to do.
What was his name? He was a troll of some sort. I can't remember.
Yeah. Thank God
he was telling UB what to do with his life.
Thank God he trolled somewhere else. But we got more trolls now, so let's keep getting them.
there's never a shortage on trolls. So how's everybody doing out there tonight, boys? It's been a few weeks since we've done a multi-stream. We are on Born to Be Rad and Dead Pit tonight, all the way live, boys.
Yep. I love these shows.
The Miz is in here, so that's killer.
The Miz.
He's a big fan of Garrett, I've heard.
Nice. The Miz.
We got all kinds of people in here. I want to give some shout outs. We're going to get started here in a minute with Vestron Collector Series Year 1. Also, we thought it may be important to give everybody a little bit of a background on Vestron video, too, because some of you youngsters out there probably have no fucking clue. What is that? So I don't know what that is. We're going to let you all know. We're going to educate you people tonight.
There's people out there that don't know what Vestron is, bulls. That's a sad state of affairs, although that label is actually 41 years old. So I guess
I have no idea. Yeah, they're fairly old. We'll talk about that though. Johnny Darko, Scream Bloody Gore, Saturn Video, Hall & Oates, Ken Carlson, Cinemurdum Video, Punisher Batman Fan, Killer Pizza, Noah the Stuntman, Mark Jerry, Tony T, My Killer Podcast, Old Curly Jaws, Movie Junkie, Big Match Jim.
Yeah. My God.
X-Ray Punch, Anthony Luzzy. Let's talk Resident Evil. Let's talk about it, Gimbal. Them Resident Evil movies fucking suck.
Listen, I don't think he gives a fuck about the Resident Evil movies. I just think he's about the gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phantasmat Lepke Vision Films. He's talking about some other stream that's going on. I'm not going to mention that because who cares? We're not talking about that. We're talking about Dead Pit.
Huge.
And we're talking about Born to Be Rad. We're talking about Uncle Bill joining up with the Rad Pack. What you haven't been trying to be rad lately, Uncle Bill?
Nah, he's losing the rad.
Give up on that shit.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about, man. Who the hell's Uncle Rad?
Yeah, what the heck? He sometimes comes on here. Yeah.
Let's get Ryan to ask his great grandpa.
Is that somebody else that just comes on the show every now and then? I mean, that's cool. Yeah.
He's getting pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
L.A. Jewel wanted to know who does our floating head art, the same artistic genius at Scream Factory. It's close. I mean, they do look similar.
Yeah.
But I get a really good deal on that artwork, so I'm not going to, I don't want to make the guy too busy, right? So you can still do our shit. Twisted Truckers in the house. Arnie Slab. Slasher Home Video. Carded Redemption. I'm going to start forgetting people that I've named on here already. So Magic Hands. Joe Batar Hill. What's going on? Carlos. So
broken Uncle Bill. Delete.
Yeah. Broken
Jay the Stingray, the Miz, Barnabas Collins is in here, boss.
Holy shit.
I saw the documentary on Barnabas there last year. Wraith, Woodrow Purvis, Joe Jack, Crash 517, the VHS Apocalypse, Carnage 6X, the Mayor, Mid-Level Media is on here. We're actually going to be invading Mid-Level Media's channel. Well, me and Garrett is. Uncle Bill didn't get invited.
As per fucking usual. Like, I ain't spent the last 15 fucking years of my life doing this shit, not getting an invitation to that.
Well, maybe he's spreading it out a little bit, because these, like the September and the October shows that he's doing will be the most horror-based of all the shows all year. So maybe he's wanting to get Creepy Kentuckian on one episode and Uncle Bill on the October episode.
That'd be pretty sick if.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think what he was thinking is he wanted to do an episode where he was in the middle and Uncle Rad was on one side of him and Uncle Bill was on the other side of him.
Yeah.
And I think he was going to do some kind of like crazy round table or something. Yeah, that's what I heard he was thinking about. That'd be killer.
I still don't understand who Uncle Rad is, but I'll take your word for it. That would be killer.
He's also known as One Rad Man or One Man Rad. Hey, Garrett, Uncle Rad, and CK from Gus.
What up,
Amaretti,
Gus?
is that how you pronounce it? Amaretti?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think he's Italian. Yeah. Bombastic reviews, jury.
Woo.
All right. Jake Courthouse, Justin Shaw. You're related to Mike Shaw. Everybody remember Mike Shaw?
Mike Shaw.
Bash and Booger.
Oh, of course, I remember Bash and Booger. He had like the craziest finisher where he just kind of like kneel on your face. Remember that one?
Buddy, it's all about Friar Ferguson, though. It ain't about Bastion Booker.
The new general.
He had an unwashed crotch. Do you remember his crotchal area there? It looks dirty. Looked kind of nasty.
I love the thing about that his gimmick. That he was just the nastiest fucker ever. That was his whole gimmick.
Well, his original gimmick was he was a monk. Like he was a big
that was a Friar Ferguson gimmick. Yeah.
Friar Ferguson, yeah.
And that was the weirdest damn thing I'd ever seen at the time. I was like, what the hell is it? Because he had a damn water bottle that he was squirting people with and shit. Do you remember that? Like he was only on Raw like a couple of times, I think. But anyway, enough about Mike Shaw. Rambo Raff for life. What's up? He says that Uncle Bill's going to use a tennis racket on me and join the Rad team. If you need a tag team partner, here we go. It'll be Slobber Knockers versus the Rad Packers.
Who's Slobber Knocker?
Well, the Slobber Knocker is Rambo would join the Slobber Knockers.
Oh, all right, okay.
Yeah. So, Jason Pearson, Joe Jack. I think I went through Film Talk with Mikey. Woodrow Purvis. Okay, Woodrow Purvis has a super chat here. I want to read that, and then we're going to get into this shit.
It's a serious question.
Okay. So, Woodrow, before we get started,
I'm just glad he gave us $5 for that.
Yeah, $5 super chat. Which one of you three sold the bad drugs that killed the lead singer of Blind Melon? Which I know, I think his name's Shannon Hoon, boss.
Shannon the Beast Hoon, yep.
How do I know that? I watched the Behind the Music multiple times, evidently, but I can remember. Yeah, man, Blind Melon, they were a fucking killer band back in the day, actually. Yeah. Like, the biggest hit was, like, very catchy and everything, but that whole album was good.
All I can say is that bullet is pretty plain.
You can make fun of that all you want to, Uncle Bill. When you figured out that first part on the guitar, you marked out yourself. You're like, oh.
Yeah, you really felt like you did something when you learned that part, too.
You continue on.
I remember when I had my first guitar when I was trying to play, and I remember I played the beginning of Everclear, and I was like, dude, I'm sick. I'm so badass. Like, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, that was like one of the big things to learn, too. Yeah.
I thought it was so
good. Yeah.
Well, and AC/DC, too, like back in the day. Like, you can play almost every AC/DC song with, like, 4 chords or whatever. All right, boss. Vestron video.
Well, wait a minute.
Let
me throw some out there really quick. Now, again, it's totally up to you guys in the chat. I figured maybe a little appetizer before we go into the show, or I can just do it on my own video. It's cool, but just got home from work and I have gotten this.
Oh God!
Funhouse 4K in the mail. It was pushed back. Got it today. I haven't seen anybody do anything on this yet, so it's either I'm going to do it all on my channel, or do you want me to unbox this thing and see if we're dealing with any grease here?
Do an ungreasing. A live ungreasing.
I want to see if I can do a live ungreasing on this. All right, let me see what I got. So again, as you can see, it's still sealed. So let me see if I can get this thing off. Let's see what happened here. Let's see. 4K Scream Factory.
I'm going to be really disappointed if ain't a bunch of grease in this fucking thing.
I'm thinking this one's dripping with grease. It's still warm grease from the heat earlier.
Was Funhouse one of the ones though? Because I thought it was mostly just the Child's Play.
Well, Funhouse, I just got this early, so nobody's opened this one yet. So I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you're gonna hear it here first.
Being delivered today.
Live
ungreasing here on We Rad and Deadbit.
Mantars just gave us a $2 super chat.
Hell, man, that's big money for Mantar. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And old Curly Jaws, while we're waiting,
What does old Curly want?
he's saying if he's calling you a Spirit Squad member, Garrett, I think, that he wants Uncle Bill to come on and talk to him about the
Johnny!
Fog remake. He'll let you come on his show, Uncle Bill.
That's one thing that's fucking hilarious about this chat. It's like there's lines drawn in the sand, if you will. It's like an ACW pay-per-view.
Ooh, it looks clean. Very clean.
God
Ken,
damn it.
I think Ken got to him. Let's see though.
Inspect the disc. Inspect the disc.
We're good, baby.
Oh,
We're
man.
good. We're good.
Okay,
This
that's
is clean
good,
as
but
a
try
whistle
playing
right
it.
now.
See if it'll actually work. That'd be killer. It's like Scream Factory. The
All
next
right.
one, like the title doesn't play at all. They sent everybody to blank.
But listen, this got pushed back for a bit, so they had to go back. Maybe they cleaned them all after the whole incident, but it's finally here, so I'm excited for it. But so Ken, you definitely got to them. They changed their ways, I think, on this one. So nice work, my man.
Listen, I'm just going to tell you, though, be careful about getting anything flammable around that case. Your whole house might burst in flames.
Oh my god.
Maybe it hasn't started ungreasing itself yet. Maybe you got to leave it put up for a while, and then it'll just start seeping out grease.
That's so funny. All right, so outgassing is all good. So let's chat about the history, man. What do you got? Talk to me.
Well, that's all. You mention that though, real quick here before we get started. I'm doing a live ungreasing on Mid-Level's channel. I told them about it. I purchased a Child's Play 2 4K just to unbox it and see how greasy that motherfucker is. So that'll be on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I think part 2 is supposed to be the greasiest of all.
The greasiest of all.
Yeah.
All right.
Instead of the baddest of them all, you remember Froggy Fresh, I think is what he goes by now. Child's Play 2 is the
Krispy
greasiest
Kreme
of them all. Yeah, Krispy Kreme. All right. Vestron video. What do you guys think of, though? We're going to go old school and talk about the VHS era of Vestron, which is that's what brought them to the dance. What's a movie that pops into your head when you think of Vestron video?
I don't know, man. I mean, I know what they are now. I don't know if the same titles were always Vestron, and the reason I say that is because I sold most of my VHS tapes, and I went through the box of the ones I still had, and I'm like, oh my god, I only have one movie in here that's Vestron, and so I don't know what other titles were Vestron video off the top of my head, besides the ones that obviously they've re-released on Blu-ray. But
yeah,
was there
a lot of great shit. I think that the one for me immediately pops into my head when I think of Vestron video is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Was it Monster Squad? Oh yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah.
And this is one that's video store era, man, like New World Video in Prestonsburg, Kentucky. This is like one of my favorite tapes for the longest time. And for years there, this thing was rented out. So I was like, fuck, I want to see the Monster Squad. It's not like you could pull shit up online and watch it, or, you know, even rent it on Netflix or Vudu or whatever. You had to get the VHS tape. That was the only way. So I just asked like probably 13, 14-year-old kid, and I was like, I want to watch the Monster Squad. Where in the hell? It's always rented out. And the lady was like, well, somebody never brought that movie back. They kept it. So I've always remembered that as well.
I'm thinking, isn't fucking Blood Diner Vestron?
Yeah.
Because that's immediately like what I think of is that VHS case for. I had it over here somewhere, but I can't find it for Blood Diner.
So somebody just put it in the chat, and I was like, oh yeah, Last House was Vestron. That was that one with that cool cover with the girl like laying outside the house. That I had that poster on my wall as a kid, and I think it said Vestron video on it. I think it was like a video poster. I think you got the Steelbook from Arrow. They redid that cover or whatever. Is that you, Wes, who got that?
Yeah, that was. I think that was an FYE exclusive.
Yeah, but that was the cover art that I was always was always the Last House cover art for me growing up. Was Vestron as well, but I don't have that anymore, sadly.
Yeah, what's weird is oddly enough for me, like as a kid, I don't remember ever seeing that Last House on the Left video.
Yeah, that's Lightning video, I think, which was like, wasn't that the whatever partner of Vestron Video at the time that I think came out with that? Or they weren't the part. I mean, they were owned by Vestron, but they were like some other little branch that released Last House, I think.
Yeah, is my audio coming in good for you guys?
It's popping and cracking from what I can hear, but I didn't know if it was just me or.
Yeah, somebody else mentioned it. Hang on just a second. I did change something in my audio. You guys continue on. I'll be back here in just a second.
All right. So I have this. It's the only Vestron title I have on VHS still. This Slaughter High. So I found this. This is all I've got left in the collection for Vestron. But somebody else in here mentioned Reanimator. I had it. It was that blue. It was like a blue. I think blue case maybe. I don't remember. But was that Vestron? Do you know off the top of your head?
I really don't know though. I've only got a couple of their VHS tapes. I don't really collect VHS that much, but I mean, I've got Blood Diner over here, and I think maybe one more.
Let me see. I'm looking right now on it was Vestron, was Reanimator. Yeah, the Vestron VHS. So that was one I definitely remember. Oh yeah, VHS Apocalypse is in here. He sent me a bunch of VHS tapes he has. He had a bunch of Vestron stuff on there.
So anyway, like Vestron started what it was in the early 80s.
Started in 81, I think.
Yeah. And been around, I think they highly successful company. In the mid 80s, it was a publicly traded company. They even started making their own movies. Dirty Dancing, I think, was the biggest movie that they ever did, both on video and Vestron pictures and everything. And, some other titles like the Ghoulies, the Troll, the first Troll movie was Vestron. I know buddy Adam 80s fan, the Scream movie from 81, that was a Vestron release. Lots of stuff from back in the day. Pretty much, I mean, I think they had them and Media Home Entertainment cornered the damn market.
Yeah, I agree. Media was everywhere.
They have an interesting story, too. I mean, Vestron, in terms of, at one time or another, they were a publicly traded company that was worth about, I think, $400 million. So, I mean, they were huge in the mid-'80s for VHS market. And they did tons of stuff. Like you were saying, Dirty Dancing. I mean, they didn't just do, like, horror and cult films and things like that. I mean, they were, like, all over the place there for a while. And they tried to buy up a lot of different catalog titles. And I think the guy that started it, he bought up a bunch of stuff from HBO, and that's how like kind of like the whole Vestron label got started. He used to be an HBO executive and ended up buying out a bunch of their stuff, some of their film catalog anyway, and started like releasing it.
Mutilator was one. Yeah, I forgot about the Mutilator. Yeah. Light of Day was another one with Joan Jett and Michael J. Fox. That's one that still to this day has never been on a disc of any type at all.
That'd be killer if they released it, though, huh?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good one for that sounds like something Kino would release.
It does, but
now wait a minute, goddamn minute. So, 99.9% of the time, Robert Long is a fucking insane maniac that just goes on rambles. But he knows that The Running Man was Vestron and Steel Dawn was a Vestron title. So, like, is he just like coming in and out of like whatever, and
he knows
it's a good day. It's a good day for him. He does know his stuff. I've noticed that as well. I don't know what the story is with Robert Long, but welcome, sir. Chris V, I'm seeing him in here. Sitka 84. So I'm seeing some more people in here popping up. We appreciate you guys stopping by. Hopefully my audio is better. I don't know.
Yeah, it is better. It's better.
Okay. Okay, good. That's always annoying because I can't hear my audio. So let me know.
Vestron kind of vanished, right, through the DVD days, correct? They were kind of not really around as far as I remember.
Yeah, I think they filed bankruptcy, and they were a part of, I think, Artisan, what became Artisan later on, and eventually became Lionsgate. Which, I mean, this is a very odd transition here because we'll take you all the way back to, I think it was around 2008, 2009. Blood Diner, Uncle Bill, one of Uncle Bill's favorites. I like it a lot too. And Felcher, this is back when Michael Felcher would tell us things. We would find out about shit before, because now all these asshole companies make you sign NDAs, and they'll sue your ass if you say anything, which I shouldn't blame Felcher, but it's fun too.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really tell you guys anything. I mean, he might tell Mel, but that's about it, I think.
Right,
you know?
his niece, which that's family.
Yeah.
So
Right.
But he let us know that they're working on a special edition DVD of Blood Diner. And it even got to the point where, hey, would you guys want to maybe do a comment? We could try to record a commentary, right? We recorded a commentary for Friday the 13th, part 5. But he was just trying, I guess, to see if somebody put our shit on a disc. But we never did get that far. It was just canceled, like, pretty much out of nowhere. This was probably 2009, 2010. And then a couple of years later, you guys remember, it's show and tell tumbles. You guys remember these multi-packs that Lionsgate started coming out with?
We were Walmart bin diving for those bad boys.
Yeah. In particular, I remember Felcher, Felcher,
PTSD,
Uncle Bill, a couple other people at a convention, went to probably, over the span of like 3 or 4 hours, went to like 7 or 8 different Walmart supercenters looking for these. And these are some that we bought. And this particular one right here is very interesting because a lot of titles that they would later go on to release on this Vestron Classics, line is on this, right? There's a couple that they still haven't released, but most, and then more of them is on this one. Blood Diner is on this one. So Lionsgate at the time kind of, I guess they didn't have an interest in spending money on doing these special edition releases, extras, commentaries, and all that stuff. They just threw all this shit on a multi-pack and sold it for $5 at Walmart, which I thought was interesting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that was a big talk in the horror community when those came out. Like, they were selling on eBay for a lot of money as well, and they cost $5, $7.99 or something like that back in the day.
Yeah,
you go on eBay and it would be like $50 a pop because they were just so sought after for that short time. And some Walmarts had them, some didn't. Sometimes you had to like dive in those big bins of just random DVDs and try to find one in the bottom of the bin. I can remember I ended up finding all of them, but it took a little while. It wasn't that easy. And everybody
you could never find like certain ones, like the one that had Blood Diner on it. I feel like we spent the most time like trying to find that one. And like some of them you found like every single Walmart you went into. Like they had the same couple of ones, but some of them were a little bit harder to find. I don't know what the deal was with that. People were just going in and buying them, or like, I don't know if they just didn't get stock in. But
they were probably buying them to resell because they knew how off the charts it was to get some of these movies
counted
that we
on
never
this.
had.
20 movies in these 3 discs that they did. And I think this is the only 3 that they did like this for like cult movies. I think 13 of them has already been released from Vestron. So that's insane.
I think you just saw that comment. Yeah, we can't say that, but that is amazing.
That's Jerry.
No! Well,
that's not rated G. Guys.
No, that's not rated G, but we want to give Bug-Eyed Betty a shout out because
on this day
she tries to impress you, Gary. You don't want to know what she was doing to a hot dog the other night. She mentioned that.
I might have missed that one.
We were watching. That was when we were watching Creep Show 3.
Oh, I didn't see
That's
it.
where the guy the guy chokes on the hot dog and he comes back as a ghost.
He's like causing everybody
That's
choke to death
shit.
on hot dogs. I'm like, what the fuck? That's got to be the silliest like idea for anything ever.
The only thing I saw one about why Scream Factory had all the stuff on their discs. I saw that comment roll in. That's the last one I saw.
All right, so fast forward though, this was like those multi-packs were like 2012, maybe 2013, around that time frame. But Lionsgate didn't decide to do their own boutique sub-label using the Vestron name until it was the fall of 2016, the initial release, September the 27th, 2016. Their two debut titles are just bizarre that they would choose these two movies released on the same day to be the launch titles for Vestron Video Collector Series. But we're going to talk about them, boys. We're going to go through all of them. So, the first release, I don't know if we've ever talked about this movie. This is a very weird movie. It's not one that I go back to an awful lot, but I want to get you guys' thoughts. Jim Wynorski Joint from 1986, starring Kelly Maroney, who we talked to. We had her on the show very briefly one time. I think Dick Miller is in this, and Babs Crampton as well. Been a long time since I've seen this movie, actually. Mm-hmm. Chopping Mall.
Oh, shit.
With a slit, boys.
Gotta have it.
No flip, no dip, baby.
I never like got into this movie for some reason. Like I remember a couple scenes from it. It's got the Killbots in it. I think it was called Killbot or something at one time. And when I was a kid, I always thought that it was just a straight up slasher film because the front, the cover makes it look like that's kind of what it is, like a murderer loose in a shopping mall or something maybe. But it turns out it's really about like killer robots. Isn't
the robots like a security, like a test system, like a security system?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a group of kids kind of want to party after hours at the mall. And, you can kind of guess what's going to happen after that. But I don't remember hating the movie, but it's not one that I hardly ever go back to. I don't own it on. I think I've got it on that multi-pack, and that's it.
I like it. I obviously, like you said, like this to me, this always looked like it was some kind of slasher in a mall, and that's what drew me to it. But it's very different than what you get here on the cover. Great poster art, but I still like it. I'm a sucker for anything in a mall in the '80s. So I'm definitely still a fan of this one for sure.
You got to pick up Valley Girl then from Shout Select, Garrett.
Oh, I got it.
You do?
Oh yeah.
He bought that day one of
it. It's a day one purchase.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some, I think, one of the guys from, I think it's Friday the 13th 2 was in it as well. It's got an interesting like they're kind of like around that time frame. I can't remember that guy's name, but, Dick Miller, I think, is in this movie too, briefly, right?
Let me check in right here. Let me see.
Probably. I think he's like a janitor or something in it. But yeah, Shopping Mall. Anybody in the chat have any fond memories of Shopping Mall? We'll go. Short Circuit gone bad.
You know what I like about these, the Vestron ones is, again, the slip covers aren't anything fancy, but they're like they have like a shiny and smooth finish to it. It doesn't just feel like paper or whatever. And I like that they're all uniform in the way that they look, and I love that there's numbers on the spine. Like this says number 1 at the top. I just think that these look really, really good lined up on the shelf. I think it's just perfect. And, I'm really big on getting the slips for these just because of that. So I just think that's a real cool line that they're doing.
Rambo Raft for Life says, I think it's one of Wynorski's only good movies. It's a fun B movie in the same mall that was used for The Running Man.
Didn't Jim Wynorski do Munchie? He either did Munchie or Munchies. But yeah, that guy is he's like Mick Garris or something. Like he has like 1,000 horrible films and like maybe one or two.
He's still making movies, and his movies now are along the lines of shit that Charles Band makes. Like they're crazy, 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 like no budget movies, but we'll pull them up here and see. Jim Wynorski is one of those guys too that like is one of the nicest guys ever. I've actually talked to him a few times online, but yeah, that's one that we never had on the show. Yeah, Chopping Mall is his most popular movie, of course. He's making stuff now. Bigfoot or Bust from this year.
Hell
Attack
yeah.
of the 50-Foot Cam Girl. Cobra Gator from 2018.
Woo.
God damn, boss, how many movies did he make? Let's see. He's got 105 credits as a director.
God
Wraith,
damn.
Wraith likes Barbara Crampton.
I like Barbara Crampton too. I think she's still,
Yeah.
dude,
Oh, yeah.
60 some odd years old. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
And like Jacob's wife, the newer one that she did, she shows her goods in that. And by God, that's all I'm going to say. I mean, I don't know what she does. She must just eat like fruit and vegetables all the time or something.
That's
I
it.
don't know.
She's like, I just eat
I have
fruit and vegetables.
no idea. No, because she's 60.
That makes my titties like this. I'll tell you what I do. I eat carrots and fucking watermelon.
She drinks a lot of milk. She's very healthy.
Oh, God.
He did Demolition High, actually. That's a pretty good movie. The Corey Haim movie.
Gotta give it up for Hamster, man. Of course.
Yeah, so those movies, Demolition High and Demolition University needs to come out. That's a VSU release if I ain't never seen one.
Oh yeah, double feature, of course.
VSA or whatever the hell it is. Body Chemistry 4, Full Exposure. Sorceress. I kind of heard of that one. I think.
I remember that one, yeah.
He did Ghoulies 4.
Yep.
Synapse came out with Sorceress. I'm pretty sure that's got Linda Blair in it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
He did Munchie. Just one Munchie.
What the fuck? Sorry. These comments.
I know. I saw it too.
All right.
Uncle Bill, you can pull some comments up too. I'm behind.
No, I'm good. I like to have the stream get monetized.
976 Evil 2. He did Sorority House Massacre 2. Transylvania Twist. That's a Jim Wynorski movie.
Now, I actually love that fucking movie. I can't say anything bad about Transylvania Twist.
Oh, that's a good one.
Return of Swamp Thing. I actually like that movie too.
I do too.
enjoyed
It bombed,
enjoyed
but
that
it's got Heather Locklear in it. It's pretty killer.
Yep. So definitely Jim Wynorski's got some good movies. Maybe we should get him on the show sometime.
I need to go back and watch Transylvania Twist. I don't know if that movie has a Blu-ray or even a DVD.
I
I'm
don't think
assuming
it has a
does.
release at all.
Really?
Who? What?
Transylvania Twist.
Transylvania
It's got,
Twist.
it's
I
got a
don't think-
DVD. I know that one. That much.
Okay. Because that one I always liked when I was a kid. That's the one that's got Angus Scream in it. That's one of the very few
Yeah.
other things that he did besides Phantasm.
Yeah, I don't think it's got anything else. Ooh.
$5 super chat. Appreciate it, brother. Last month, I had Barbara Crampton sign my Chop 'em All poster, and she was like, "Oh, you really like this movie?" I was like,
Yeah,
"Dang."
she said it like that.
Dang.
So yeah, that was Chopping Mall, 1986. It had a 30-year anniversary in 2016. What's
I'm going to turn this fucking chat off just so I don't see this stuff.
Garrett? Hey Garrett, what you do the Transylvania Twist with me, boy?
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Here we go.
You conjured them.
She brought him in.
Get out of here. boy.
Conjured the squirt balls.
It took them a while at least. We had a good 38 minutes of non-squirt action. All right. So the next release the same day is another all-time classic. Uncle Bill, it's one of his favorites. Jackie Kong Joint from 1987.
Oh, God.
Blood Diner, boss.
Hell yeah. I've got two of these. I need to do some sort of contest.
What,
That's
send one over.
That's one that I actually have. So
All right, you got it.
Yeah. So somebody who doesn't have this, I need to do like some sort of contest to win.
well, we'll come up with
extra.
a giveaway or something. Maybe we can do that. I don't know.
I don't know how the fuck I got two of them.
Garrett, how familiar were you with Blood Diner before this Blu-ray came out? Had you seen it before or anything?
I had only seen it through those Lionsgate 6-packs or whatever. That was the first time I'd ever seen it. I didn't own it on VHS or anything else like that. So that was the first time I saw it.
So Uncle Bill introduced me to this on VHS, like probably, I don't know, 25 years ago, maybe, or something like that.
Something crazy like that, yeah.
What year was 25 years ago?
Dude, okay,
Oh
so
my
we're
God.
2022,
It's scary when you find out. I'll tell you.
2002 was 20 years ago, so that would have been like
So like 97?
97, yeah.
So yeah, it probably would have been around 97, 98, because we were bringing, he was bringing tapes, and we were watching just random shit. So I'd never seen the movie, never really even heard of the movie before, and it's just fucking nuts. That movie is crazy as hell.
It is. There's so much
Really?
just incoherence and like insanity in that movie that it's just perfect. Every scene just like amps up the crazy, man. Like I don't even know how you would write a movie like this where you're just like, okay, we're going to go through this scene and like put little Jimmy Hitler being the wrestler, and then he bites his leg off, like bites a piece of his leg off and spits at his girlfriend. Then go from that to, the Sumerian or whatever feast where they're chopping up all those. It's just everything. The detective's like unnecessarily sexual. Like he's constantly like, doing the thing.
The naked girl like beating the guy's ass or whatever.
Yeah, just so many like weird. Yeah, Carl Crew is basically playing himself in that movie. By the way, that's not a gimmick. He's no gimmicks needed.
No.
Carl Crew. Like
That man's kind of crazy. The one thing that I always talk about, and I think I mentioned it when we had Mel on the show, is when they're bringing these hookers back to the cafe, and one is just a gigantic, like a big-breasted stripper or porn star or something, like gigantic hooters, and they end up deep frying her fucking head like a mushroom. Do you remember this?
oh yeah,
She's got like a big fried ball on her damn head, and she's still running around naked, like going, "Oh God, I don't know where I'm at." Right? And then one of the brothers comes with a fucking broomstick and just knocks her damn head right off. And I don't know why. Like, that's just so nuts. But I remember when I first saw that, I died laughing. I was like, God, that's the silliest shit ever.
and the best part of the movie really too is like the guy playing Uncle Anwar, the little fucking brain with eyeballs that can talk. It's like always on their ass about everything that they're doing. Oh.
Yeah. So that movie's nuts. There's a wrestling scene as well in it.
Yep.
You guys remember
Yeah.
the wrestling scene?
Oh,
I forgot it. Somebody mentioned the thing. I forgot all about that. That's another scene too with the guy with the puppet. Don't do it, Stan. He gets his arms cut off. He's like, yeah.
I don't know where that come from, but yeah, that's random. And
Stan.
Buddy Bacon has a special appearance in this movie too. The guy that played Buddy Bacon, he's briefly in it. So yeah, Blood Diner. I think that's a surprising choice though. Like that almost seems like, I mean, this was Lionsgate. This was a big studio, still is, that they would release something like this. It's kind of surprising. The wrestler's name is Little Jimmy Hitler.
What the
What?
fuck?
Whoa.
Woo, baby.
Holy shit.
We're going to be dining with kings and
Green,
queens
bloody gore.
and not on pork and beans.
Bro, thank you so much, whoever this is.
Yeah, whoever this guy is, that's awesome.
That's
Thank you.
insane. Thank you, sir.
I'm greatly humbled by the fact that you are doing what you were doing.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Appreciate it, sir.
Wow. Thank
All
you.
right. The
We're buying the new
I
vinegar
forgot
syndrome.
even what were we talking about?
No, we all just said we're gonna take that 200 and we're gonna each buy Amityville Horror on 4K.
Yeah.
Since we already own it like 100 times.
Does that do anything for you guys, by the way?
No.
It
Nothing.
actually does it for me. I'm a huge Amityville fan, the original, and everybody's always like part two. Part two is great, but I have a very, very soft spot for the first one. You know, it's tough to have to rebuy it again, but Vinegar Syndrome does such a great job. I'm like, you know what, I'll probably just get it.
I was
I
talking to
love it.
Dirk earlier, and he said that the Scream Factory transfer was really bad. Like, I don't recall that.
I never
I've
recalled
seen
it
it.
being
I don't
bad either.
remember.
But
Yeah, I don't remember it being bad, but maybe I need to go back and.
Man, I don't know. To me, that movie, like I like that movie and everything, but it's just there's been so many releases of that movie and like so many different. I don't know. I don't care anymore.
Well, regardless, that's a gigantic get
Yeah, I
for
give them that for
Henderson.
sure.
I agree. I
That
agree.
I think that trumps Texas Chainsaw 2 as well, as far as just
I do
name
too.
recognition. And that movie made a fucking fortune at the box office too. Like, I remember we were looking something up, and Amityville was like number 2 that entire year, moneymaker or something. It was in the top 5. It made an ungodly amount of money the year that I think it was 79's the year it came out.
Hmm.
So yeah, continuing
People,
on.
people were really looking for something to kind of replace The Exorcist. I think as like the super scary kind of fright film of that time.
Right. I got you. So continuing on, let's go with the third release, October the 18th, 2016. Waxwork. And
And
Waxwork 2.
oh yeah,
It's one of my favorite films. Like really, one of my favorite horror films of all time.
it's a great one. It's so cool. So 80s.
Because here's the thing: people may not realize about Waxwork, other than the fact it's fucking hilarious, is it's like a combination of everything in horror. I mean, because of the way that it's set up, you got like a werewolf scene, you got like a vampire scene, you got a zombie scene, you got like a whole bunch of different like small. It's like an anthology film without really being an anthology film. You got all these different stories in this one film with like a wraparound with Zach Galligan and Deborah Foreman. I mean, and I'll watch anything with Deborah Foreman in it. We've already established that. So and the second one is actually pretty fucking good too. It's got Bruce Campbell in it, and like it's a completely different type of film, but it's like a just like a goofy kind of comedy. But the first one's more like a horror dark comedy. I don't know. I like both of them.
I agree. I'm a big fan of them as well, and I like Zach Galligan. It was nice to see him in something else because for coming off of a main role like he had in the Gremlins, like as a kid, it's like I thought I was going to see this dude everywhere because that was such a big role at the time, and he didn't do much. Crazy enough, at least mainstream. So it was cool to kind of see him back in this as well. For me growing up,
Waxwork and Waxwork 2 were always. Owen Hartbot is back in here, and it's a bot.
It is a ball. Enough is
Those
enough.
movies,
It's time for a change.
those movies were always put together for some reason too. I
Right.
thought that was kind of odd. Like even the VHS release. So I watched the trailer for Waxwork 2. I don't think I've ever watched Waxwork 2 ever. Like if I did, I don't remember it at all.
to be honest, I don't. Now looking at it again, I don't recall this one that much either. Like just I don't remember. Like I was trying to think of different things from it. I don't remember that at all. Do you be?
What's that? Waxwork 2?
Yeah, yeah.
I just remember like it being a complete. I watched it when this came out. Actually, that was the first time that I watched it. Was on this
There's
release.
not a wax museum in this, right?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's like somehow or another Bruce Campbell's going through time, and it's like Rambo was saying, it's like an action adventure kind of film more so than like a horror film. It's his style of humor too. Like if you can imagine Bruce Campbell and the sarcastic like style of humor that he does in a film. But yeah, I liked it. I don't think I liked it as much as Waxwork, but I liked it pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Waxwork. The funny thing is, and I was looking up stuff about Waxwork because I like the movie. I mean, it's pretty good. I think Uncle Bill loves it. I don't think I've ever loved it, but it's decent. I remember watching it as a kid and everything. This movie completely bombed at the box office. If you look up the box office on Waxwork, the original from '88, Like it made hardly nothing. I don't know if it just didn't have a wide release or what the deal is. But it's just surprising that they would get the go ahead like 4 years later to even do a sequel for Waxwork, unless it was maybe it did big business in the video store.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Like, this was just one of those. I think it probably did really well in video stores too, because this was one that I watched on VHS when it came out and automatically like loved it.
Right.
Well, I mean,
And-
I don't. Zach Galligan is in it again.
Yeah, he's in
So-
the sequel too.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
couldn't get Deborah Foreman back though. They got some Deborah Foreman lookalike, I think, in the sequel. Because the sequel, from what I could tell in the trailer, it looks like it continued directly after the original movie.
Monica Schnarr. That's
Schnarry.
the Deborah Foreman. But the original Waxwork has got like, it's infinitely quotable. You know, that's gotta hurt. All that stuff. Like, I mean, people still say those quotes today.
I almost remember Waxwork as kind of like an anthology movie in a way. Am I right? Like there's different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Like, it's
different
just-
scenes. Yeah.
They like walk into a wax exhibit, and then that's the, whatever the exhibit is like it's like a little mini film inside of it. So, like, you know, they go into the Marquise de Sade, and then they go into like a vampire one, they go into a werewolf one. The werewolf one I always thought was the coolest. But yeah, there's a bunch of different, it's like a bunch of different movies in one film. Also, somebody was talking about Zach Galligan on here too. Was it him? I always get William Ragsdale and Zach Galligan mixed up because they basically look exactly the same.
Very, very similar. Yes.
But one of those two guys got arrested for like shoplifting and something else. I not too long ago, and I don't remember which one of it was, but I'm sure somebody on the chat will remember. Like, it was a couple years back, and so I don't think one of them is doing that great.
I don't know. I don't remember hearing about that because I would have remembered. I don't think it was Ragsdale. I don't know. Maybe not.
Galligan still does conventions and stuff, I think.
That's interesting. I never heard about that.
Somebody said it was Zach. Okay. Yeah.
The,
I don't know. They're hyping some Gremlin stuff that he might be part of. You saw it in that commercial, or whatever.
Zach Galligan, we was one that people forget that he did our show back in the day. Uncle
Wow.
He did, didn't he?
Will. He did.
I don't think it was a very good interview, though. I don't remember
No.
anything
He
about
wasn't
it.
He wasn't really a dickhead or anything because he has a reputation of being a dickhead. He really does. Like he's got a bad reputation at these conventions. But he just wasn't like, I don't know. It's like a male version of Sherry Moon Zombie or something.
Yeah, I don't think he
Kinda.
cares. We
Probably
should ask
not.
him about the
That's one
arrest. That would really made him endeared to us.
That's one
Hey,
that nobody
you do?
ever talks about that because there's a few that we did that when I was re-uploading them to the Patreon page, nobody ever mentions them because they were that fucking bad. Like Sherry Moon Zombie, a lot of people don't remember we had her on the show. Zach Galligan was another example of that is just not really a good interview.
Yeah, I see. Who said? Oh, Brian Goes Blue. Yeah, I met Zach Galligan. He was fine to me back then.
He stole
He's still a
heavy
deep
metal-
purple CD.
a Deep Purple CD from. How
That's
long ago
great.
was this? This must have been a while ago.
What the hell? Give me that Deep Purple. Down, 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 down. He's like, is Shane Douglas's music on this one? I can't
Deep
remember.
Merkel. Deep Purple's ass.
Oh, no.
So
Fuck.
Yeah, you're
September-
right. If David Naughton too kind of gets that Zach Galligan Ragsdale look.
David Naughton's also supposed to be a dickhead too. Like, he got arrested as well. I think it was for domestic abuse. So
we met him.
these
At,
people
one
are
of
just
those-
not good people. If you ever
I
wonder.
don't think we ever interviewed him, but we did meet him once at a convention. I think
Yeah, we did.
the Monsters is September 27th. Bulls. What are we going to do?
We're gonna do
For that, you mean?
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it and then take a big steaming shit on it because I'm sure it's gonna be
Hey.
awful.
Maybe it'll be good.
No, it won't.
it could
Shut the
surprise
fuck up.
everybody and actually be killer.
No.
but it would have to surprise everybody.
The trailer doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
Yeah. There's a better chance of Deborah Foreman coming on the show than there is of that movie being killer.
She probably would. I just saw her at a convention a couple months ago. She probably would go on.
She's too busy with yoga. Yoga is my life.
She don't. Yeah, she probably wouldn't be that good in an interview either. But continuing on. Also, I guess it's important to mention that this was the fall of 2016. They were releasing stuff pretty much monthly.
Is it nuts to you that it was that early? These seem like they're like relatively new, like 2016. I mean, that's 6 years ago. I don't feel like I got these 6 years ago. That's crazy to me.
Well, I don't have many of these because this was during a time period when we didn't do shows. We were out of the Dead Pit show had been over for a few months, and so we, a lot of this stuff we were catching back up on. A few years ago. So, Dirk, raising the bar, boss. What's going on?
Hey, Dirk. Appreciate that, man.
Appreciate it.
Definitely.
Dude.
We try. I'm gonna say we don't throw things together. We collectively come up with ideas and formats. So I appreciate that you take notice of us trying to keep it fresh and whatnot. So thank you.
So let's continue on November 22nd, 2016. And another thing that's refreshing here too. 80 some odd releases from the cocksuckers at Scream Factory 1 year. 1 year. And there's like what, 10 or 11 on the year. So that is refreshing, boss. I like that.
And again, what you got to say about Vestron is like, dude, look at their price points. It's like they're still like the most for a boutique style label. Like, what are they, $12 at Walmart when they come out? Like, it's insane. And the slipcovers are still valuable because trust me, there was a couple that I completed this whole series when I knew we were going to do this, and to track them down with slips is not easy on some of them still. So, and I'll talk about. Well, actually, we won't have to talk about it because the title I was going to talk about is not in this list, but. I just ended up buying a slip by itself, and I never do that. But I was like, you know what? I need one more, and I might as well just complete it. But, yeah, there's still good price point on it.
Michael Felcher's niece said, no slip, no dip, baby.
Oh, boy.
Scream Factory don't even come out with slip covers anymore, though. They come out with drip covers.
If it ain't got that goddamn, that cardboard, it ain't worth a shit.
Well, didn't she say that at he didn't remember when Felcher didn't show up for Thanksgiving. He was supposed to bring the dip, and Mel was so pissed. She said, "No slip, no dip." Remember? She was telling her family.
Yeah, that's where she come up with.
That's where that happened.
Uncle Sleepy, boss. November 22nd, 2016. I've always loved this movie for some reason. It's a very different take. Like there's not really any comedy in this at all that I could recall. The Return of the Living Dead 3 from 1993. I think they showed this all the time, like on Showtime or HBO or something like that back in the day. And that's where I initially saw it. And I always loved it. I mean, for a multitude of reasons. The lead in it, what was her name?
What was her name? Her first
Melinda
name?
Clark.
Oh, Melinda Clark, yeah.
It was Melinda Clark, yeah.
So her costume in this movie's killer. Everybody likes it.
Yeah.
And like, what's the whole plot? Doesn't she get killed in like a motorcycle wreck or whatever, and then she comes back as a zombie? And it's like almost like a love story type deal.
So the point of that whole get up in the movie is that she's trying to keep herself from eating her fucking boyfriend because she keeps having like these hunger pains to like want to eat him. And so she just keeps hurting herself. Like she's putting all this stuff to distract herself from like wanting to kill him. And, that's kind of a cool concept in and of itself. But then, of course, she goes and murders a bunch of people and eats their brains. But she tries.
She's hungry for meat and brains and stuff. When did you first watch this movie, Garrett?
It was definitely VHS days. And again, I may have seen it originally on TV. I don't remember. I did have the VHS of this, but yeah, I think it's great. It's very different, but it's definitely different than the other two. But it's solid, man, for sure. She does a great job. It's you know, it's very to me it's very 90s, like early 90s. Like it just fits that era, I think. And I think it's a cool one, man. It was good to see that they grabbed this title and released it for sure.
Yeah, because I think there was just like a basic artisan release, like a DVD, bare bones, and that artwork is killer. Like I think that's the VHS artwork, which is what Vestron usually goes with.
Right.
And
Now, did Brian usually direct that movie, or did he just produce it? I can't remember. Brian
I
Houston's
think,
a weird guy too.
I think he directed it, but I can look it up. But I
Ken
watched this.
Carlson's. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I watched this movie primarily on HBO and stuff like that. So I don't remember renting it, but it was all the time on like cable.
Ken Carlson said Tarantino mentioned that this movie was written as a Reanimator sequel originally. I did not know that at all.
I neither.
If that's the case.
Brian Usna, he was the director.
The odds of Trick or Treat coming out this year are 100% Record Exchange. I guarantee it.
I mean, I honestly, I would have said that a couple months ago, but it's making me a little nervous that we haven't got an announcement yet because we're heading into.
Well, there haven't been any announcements for October for Vestron.
True. You know, it's funny. We always do these shows and stuff, and I always feel like you'll get that announcement tomorrow. Like I always feel everything always happens like after we do it.
We've kind of been promising this release for a while, so it's going to kindly make us look like real assholes if it doesn't come out, especially this year. But from what I was told by a few people, it's being worked on. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there was a snag or whatever happens. Maybe Felcher said too much. They had to delay it.
They canceled it. That'd be fucking awful.
Also, something to touch on too. Vestron, these releases when they came out, they were like what, $30? Like they were more expensive than the ones now are like $15 max. You know,
it's weird because like every year they put these out there going down in price. Like the last ones were like $7.50, like right off the bat, and then like they were $5. I think at some point at McDonald's. I
want to go to that
back
place.
in the day, they had Wayne's World and Ghost and shit like that. They could have.
They got shivers at McDonald's.
Can I have that Happy Meal with shivers in there?
God. This guy kills me too. Hold on.
What?
Fucking Dennis Weaver's missing tooth.
August Underground, yeah.
Yeah, Mortem is a great movie for your church youth group if you're interested.
Especially on Blu-ray. I mean, imagine how great it's going to look on Blu-ray. Yeah.
They are actually releasing those movies in a box set. I could not believe that. Like, that's going to be a huge thing.
People buy them, though, man. Vinegar Syndrome has a sister label just for these VHS movies on Blu-ray. How dumb is that?
Like, I absolutely think the world of that guy, Fred Vogel, but I don't think I'd ever watch those movies again. If you fucking, like, held a gun to my head, I don't think I would.
Well, there is the baller and shot caller tier on Patreon. That'd probably be the only way. We'll do a damn marathon.
Don't. No, we won't.
We'll make Garrett watch them all three.
No.
Dude, no, that's even like, yeah.
I saw them back on DVD back in the day. I had a friend Colin that used to like love that shit, so he'd always show me those, and I didn't like it. He was also big into what was that other one that everybody was talking about back in the day? I have like an unrated version of it.
Murder Set Pieces?
Yeah, that's what it is.
I just had that shirt. Yeah. We were talking about that guy. Yeah, he sent like He sent like a shirt and a bunch of stuff to us at one point in time. I think like a signed magazine or something too. Like when we were reviewing that movie, and I don't know what the hell happened to that guy. Like after that movie and everything, we were talking about that. Like he just kind of dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah,
That was
Nick
a
Colombo, I think was his name.
Yeah,
Yeah, that movie
The-
was really hot. Like at that time, Nerdist at Pieces, and you have to get like the unrated cut, like from overseas or whatever. Remember?
Well, I've got the DVD of the unrated cut. I think it goes
Yeah.
for crazy
Yeah.
money.
Yeah,
But that
I
was
have
one
it-
that he'd sent
that
us
as well.
to review back in the day.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I'm sure at some point one of these companies will get that too.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Surely. Continuing on, though, this is one that we talked about, I think, on a Sequelitis show not too long ago. This is another bizarre movie. And I think Vestron, this is one of the Vestron Pictures releases. Chud 2.
Bud the Chud.
Bud
Bud
the Judge.
I don't have that one either. I don't know how.
Continuing on, yeah, with the VHS covers. There's like a sun-faded VHS tape. And that was Vestron as well. This movie is like just bizarre.
Somebody's
Yep.
initial, just gut level reaction. Screw Chud too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different.
It's-
I'll say that.
It's a horrible like comedy that we just rewatched it. What, like a couple months ago?
Yeah, we did like a deep dive on that a couple months ago, and if anybody's ever seen the original Chud movie, and you can look at this damn cover here, those creatures are not in this fucking movie at all. So I don't know.
Well,
We were talking about this. I don't know if they just designed that cover for a sequel for something that was never made, like an actual Chud, because this is not really Chud 2. I guarantee you this was like scripted to be something else originally or something. Because
you know what's funny too is, do you have this version of this right here?
I've got
Uncle Bill.
No.
So there's a little
No,
quote.
somehow I don't.
It's so funny. It says Chud 2, Bud the Chud, and it says, "We're not staying down here anymore." See that little writing?
That's
in there?
right. Yeah.
We're not staying down here. Like they never, like you said, they're not even in it. Like, we're no more. We're not staying down there. But we're not going to be in the movie either.
I mean, I even like Garrett Graham too, and he was in some like Full Moon stuff, and I think
He was in
what
one of the
hell?
Police Academy movies too, boss.
Yeah, he was.
City
He
Under
was,
Siege.
but he was also in. He's in something else too. But anyway, I like him as an actor even too. But it's just like that movie's too goofy. It's just
Wasn't he
way
in,
too goofy.
Wasn't he the dad in Mikey? You remember that movie Mikey? I think he's in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, Mikey with the little.
He usually
kid,
plays like the dad character. I've
Yeah.
noticed in most of those movies.
He does as good as a job as Bud the Chud as anybody could. In fact, I think he does too good of a job considering some of the other people that are in this movie. Brian Robbins is in this too, who was in was it Head of the Class or something like that back in the day, the TV show?
Remember that show? That was a good show.
Yeah. Because I remember I was like, what in the hell has this guy been in? And I looked it up back when we watched it. But yeah, this movie is not good at all.
TerraVision was good though. That's
Oh,
what
I
somebody brought up.
I love TerraVision. Yeah.
He was the dad in Child's Play too as well. Maybe that's what I'm
That's
thinking of. Maybe
yeah,
it wasn't
that's what it
Mikey.
is.
Or maybe it wasn't Mikey, I'm not sure. Layer of the White Worm on January 31st, 2017. First release 2017.
Why the fuck I have this? I have no
I don't
idea.
know either. Because
Well, you know what? I've never seen it. I've never watched this. I was just checking to see if it was.
I've
open,
never
but-
seen it either. I remember like watching the previews for it a few times and
Yeah,
thinking, well,
it's
I haven't
not-
never seen it, but once you watch the trailer,
Mine's not open, so
yeah.
yeah.
Uncle Slippy's here.
Felcher wanted to know why he wasn't invited. Well, you can come
Man,
on in,
that-
Felcher, if you want to. I'll send you the link if you want to join us.
That's a good question though. How was he not invited to this?
Well,
Maybe it's
I know
because
he's a busy man because he's working on some titles we want to.
I was going to say it could be because you're fucking working on Trick or Treat and ain't gonna tell nobody about it.
But yeah, Felcher actually, like, I think he did this, Vestron along with Scream Factory kept him very busy. for a few years. Fuck it, I'll send you the link, Sleepy, if you want to join us. I got to get off here at midnight, so.
What happens at midnight? You gonna turn into a pumpkin or something?
Yeah, it's way past my bedtime.
Oh, damn it.
Like, fine, you can stay up a little bit later tonight. Like, all right. But if you're not in here at midnight, I'm coming in.
Nah. It'd be killer if like 12:01. She's like, "Get the fuck in here now! Stop that shit."
Can you private message on this? I don't think you can you? How?
I don't know. It says private chat over here somewhere.
I think that's people that's just in the chat. I'll send it to them on my phone.
You want to move? Did you guys? I've never seen Lair of the White Worm. Has any of you guys either?
No, I've never wanted to see it.
I don't. That's what I'm sitting here saying. Like, why did I buy this? I wasn't even really buying these movies at the time, and like I've never watched it and did not care about it at that point.
I mean, it's got a featurette on here. Big featurette. No, I don't know. I don't know why I've never seen it. I never owned it other than this. You know what I think I did? I think I bought this because I never owned this in any other format. So I always try to grab some stuff like that I don't have, in hopes of finding, a new gem or whatever. But
I just texted it to you, Sleepy. We should get his niece in here too.
Look here, there she is. There she is.
It's all gonna unfold tonight, isn't it?
Buddy, get on to me about watching shit. You better watch some of that shit them people are sending you to review, damn it. Get on that. Come down there.
Look, buddy, you gotta be nice now. Come on.
I am nice.
Here's another one that's like, I'm sorry, but this movie's like fucking a piece of shit. Parents. Why was this released?
Now, here's another one that I don't know why I have.
I don't even have it opened. I wasn't going to watch it, but I wanted to complete it. So this is one of the ones I recently just got because I didn't have it. And I was like, I got to complete the collection. I might as well get it.
I think this was one of the movies that was in the Walmart 588 bin. The DVD was years and years ago.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd seen it through that, and I was just kind of shocked that they would give that movie in particular that kind of treatment, but and charge $30 for it as well.
Why do I?
It's been a long time since I've seen this, but I remember I had it. It was either from that Lionsgate set, or maybe it was like in a double pack or something. Whoa!
It's the man.
Lippy!
Sleepy, sleepy, sleepy.
It's getting to be like the Brady Bunch in here now, boss.
You're doing a history of Vestron Blu-rays, and you didn't bring me in here. Okay.
Well, we can go back. You worked on most of these.
Well, so there's a big delay here.
God damn,
I can hear it on his end. Maybe if I don't know. Why would it be delay, you think?
I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
Do you have it on another on your computer or something? Are you watching it while you're on live?
It's on my it's on my computer. Oh, hold on a second.
Yeah, it might work better if you muted it or something.
Okay, how about now?
Does it work better now? Can you hear me? Is there an echo?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay,
I can hear you good.
All right, I think we're all right now.
So you were saying this was your idea. We were talking about the Lionsgate DVD editions, the multi-packs.
Oh yeah,
which was
where we went dumpster diving in Walmart's for like what 4 hours, looking for those things.
Yeah. 6 or 7 different Walmarts, I think.
Yeah, we were at some convention, probably one of the Fright Nights, and I remember we just. God only knows what germs we exposed ourselves. We probably inoculated ourselves against all future diseases by going through all that. But did we find any? I don't seem to recall that we did.
I think we found some. We
didn't find the one, the big blood
ones we wanted.
No,
we didn't find the ones we. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've released most of the ones that were on those packs. There's only a few stray titles from those that haven't gotten re-released.
Yeah.
I almost forgot though. I was being very rude. I didn't give you a proper introduction.
Slipcase, Michael Bell, slipcase, Michael Bell, slipcase, Michael Bell, slip. Get slippy with it, slip it, motherfucker, slipcase, Michael Bell, oh, goddamn, get slippy with that motherfucker, make some DVD extras, goddamn, hurry, I wanna watch some DVDs, slipcase, Belcher, baby, whoa, suck it, now. Slipcase, Michael Bell, slipcase, Michael Bell, slipcase.
I love it.
I love
It's
that.
still-
I love that theme so much. I can't even begin to tell you.
That's still the best thing you ever did, I think.
I don't know what's my favorite part. I want to watch some DVDs or Sookie now. Either one.
I think Goddamn Hurry is my favorite.
Goddamn
Goddamn
hurry!
hurry.
I want to watch some DVDs. Yes, no, I love that. Thank you for playing that.
I don't know if that app exists anymore, but that was a lot of fun back in the day. Early iPhone days, I guess.
So, Slippy, first question up from the fans. Do the deleted scenes of Conan the Barbarian and Dream Sequence in Trick or Treat still exist?
How the fuck should I know?
They just want to know.
I'm
They
sorry.
just want to know.
He's done with that. He's moving on to something else. They've already.
No, I don't know if they still exist or not. And if and when a Blu-ray goes into production, and if I'm involved, I will certainly look for them. But I have
Yes.
October's right around the corner.
dude, it's not coming out. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell your information
Well,
is wrong.
Is there anything coming out in October for Vestron?
No.
Well, fuck.
What the fuck, man? They're slacking over there.
No, there was a little bit of delay, some stuff they got busy with, but there will be. I can say this: there will be 2 more titles before the end of the year.
One of them is Trick or Treat.
No,
They'll release Trick or Treat in December.
just to piss you off.
Oh, shit.
And I don't know. I mean, is it gonna be? It's not Ghoulies Go to College, would it be? No. Ah.
No,
Coolest baby.
He can't say
I'm
nothing.
not telling you. I'm not going to tell you what the hell they are.
What
Fright Night
caused
2.
him to release? We were talking about Parents earlier. Was that one that you worked on back in the day?
I've worked on all of the Vestron titles except 2 of them. Every one of them I produced except for 2 of them. And Parents was one I did, yes. And it's I like that movie. I know a lot of people don't dig it. It's a weird flick. It's not everyone's taste. But it's got a great cast, and, you know, it was one of the titles that was on the radar, so they brought it out. You know? There you go.
Hatch family's in here. He just wanted to say "fuck Screen Factory." And I just had to post
Just
that.
dropped in to say that. Thank you.
That's
Hey,
a helpful topic. That's good. That's really good.
did you pick up your Vaseline-induced Child's Play 2 yet?
My what now?
Your Vaseline-injected Child's Play 2 4Ks.
I have no idea what that. What?
Outgassing.
Just
Outgassing.
wait.
You don't know?
It's off gassing or out gassing. Or
It's-
chicken
Wait, actually,
grease.
you know what though? That's good. Ask him if he knows what that is, because they supposedly we're supposed to be in the know. So if anybody's in the know, he's gonna know.
Yeah.
No what?
Have you
Have you
ever
ever
heard?
Of outgassing before.
Oh, I outgas all the time.
Me too.
In fact, I did it right before I got on here. In fact, if I'm on here long enough, I'll do it online.
Tell him the story, Wes. Quickly.
Well, surely you've heard about this. You've been on the internet, haven't you?
Yes, I've done been on the internet. Yes.
You've been on the interwebs, ain't you?
Yeah, I've been on the pewter.
You know that fancy typing box?
I've surfing the wild web. Yes, I've heard of what about outgas or the yes.
So they're acting like everybody should know what this is. Like, you're stupid if you don't know what the hell this is. This has never existed before. I've never heard of anybody going on complaining about greasy cases and discs and shit. So I don't know what they're
Greasy
doing.
cases.
I'm sorry. I just love the way you said that. Greasy.
Goddamn greasy cases.
These things were sitting on the back counter behind a Waffle House. Goddamn, they're greasy. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I haven't really been following. I don't go on Blu-ray.com very often because it's just like, it's just so many people yelling at each other about shit, and I'm just like, ah. So, I mean, I try to stay out of there as much as possible. So sometimes I'm actually not in the know as far as the latest gassing controversy. So I don't know
the latest bunch of bullshit going on with Scream Factory. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know that you don't really. I don't think you've done anything for them in a little while, but like,
yeah, not lately.
They fuck up almost every. Like, it's just so much. It's almost not even fun to talk about.
I don't. Again, I just did the special features. As far as anything else that goes on with the company, I wasn't involved in any of that, so I can't really speak to anything that's going on over there. I don't. I really, that's pretty much the case for pretty much everyone I work with. I do the special features, I turn the stuff in, and, if they let me get involved, that's one thing, but most of the time, they've got their own peeps and so forth, so I can't really speak to that.
Yeah, I don't want to be...
There's a lot of good people that work over there, so I don't want to say anything.
Oh, man, I'm a big fan of Ronnie Millsap.
Oh, I get it!
He's the quality control supervisor over there.
Of all the blind celebrities who chose Ronnie Millsap, that's an outside the box choice, and I really applaud that. Ronnie Millsap dealing with them greasy DVDs.
Greasy DVDs, goddamn hurt.
Woodrow Purvis.
That keeps giving us.
Oh shit! That guy, he won't give up.
You know who sold the bad drugs?
It was my buddy Purvis. It was my buddy Purvis. He sold.
Remember when he had this beautiful like Halloween 5, footage, and they put in like the non-finished version onto the 4Ks?
Oh yeah, they fucked up the black levels. Though to be fair, I could have fixed that on my end and it wouldn't have happened. But there was no reason for them to have done that. Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
I think it was just outgassing. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, here's the just a brief summary though to catch everybody up. When Scream Factory's 4K discs get hot, they turn into pond scum now. I don't know if anybody's aware of that, but that's what's going on.
So what happens? You pull them out of the 4K player and there's just juice? What the hell is, I mean...
Pretty much.
Eventually.
Yeah,
Eventually that's what will happen.
Oh, wow.
Like, you remember Laserdisc days, they talked about disc rot. Well, this is disc melt.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, God, Jesus, God. I'd much rather have the rot. That doesn't fuck up your player,
Well, I mean, if you don't leave it in your player long enough, it might be okay. But if you're like me and you leave a disc sitting in your Blu-ray player for a couple of days, there might be some goo in it.
Oh shit! I got disc melt.
I got greasy.
Oh, I got
greasy disc.
I got greasy disc melt. This is bullshit.
I got my greasy disc out.
Like,
Lord, they're so greasy.
What's all this stuff on my discs? Like, no, it's fine. You just when you get them, just clean them with a paper towel. Like that's what we need to do now is just clean everything.
Did my discs have a cum shot? What the hell happened? Oh, yeah, gross.
Pretty much.
Well, that's just. I'm so glad I came on for this.
Oh, that was worth it. Okay,
we're moving on to a great one though. Now, if you want to move on to it.
Yeah.
We're at number 8 right now.
Yeah.
The Gate Switch. Wow.
The Gate
was
a good one.
A Vestron release back in the day on video.
Oh yeah. Sometimes they do line up with ones that were actually out on VHS back in the day. Ironically, though, not a Vestron Pictures release. It just happened to be one that Vestron Video had the rights to for a while, and it went around the block a few times and ended up back at Lionsgate. So it was like, okay, kind of came on home. We did a
Well,
lot
this
of new
was-
stuff for that. I had done the DVD for that back in 8, 9, something like that, and I added a whole bunch of new stuff to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of features on here.
Lots.
You know, like the gate unlock, making the gate. I mean, there's some cool stuff on here for sure.
Yeah. It was Steven Dorff didn't want to do anything on Lewis Tripp. The other lead actor, he didn't want to do anything either, which was disappointing. But
Well, what the hell's he doing now? He probably ain't doing nothing.
Stephen Dorff's living off that Blade money. What he doing?
but in
Talk
any
about
case,
the other
yeah.
dude. He's
No,
probably
he just
working
didn't
at
want. He just
Walmart
didn't.
somewhere.
He just didn't want to for some reason. I met him at a convention in Charlotte, North Carolina, and nice guy, but he just wasn't really interested in doing anything. So I was like, okay,
And he was at the convention as a fan, pretty much, or no?
No, he was there as a celebrity.
That's odd.
Listen,
He just.
That's just
all I-
weird. Like, I mean, okay.
Well, I didn't want to get it. It wasn't really in my business. But it wasn't like I was going to just suddenly. What do you mean you're not going to do a fucking interview? Throw the table up and just, fuck her. You're going to do my interview right now. I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
My God!
No.
you know who I am, motherfucker.
Don't you know? Nobody says no to me. It's just, no, you can't pull that shit with people. It doesn't.
For you,
tends
like,
to. Yeah.
I know you're a few years older than us. Not too many. What? You're probably about 10 years older than us.
He's just
So,
full
like,
of fucking.
You're older than us. You're ancient compared to us.
We growing up in the 80s and stuff, The Gate was like a staple on HBO.
It was.
That was one of
It
those
was.
movies that kind of the gateway movie that got me into the genre a little bit more.
And it
you
was
were a little bit older. How was that for you? Like,
Well, when that
is that a
movie
movie
came
that
out-
you?
I was 14 when that movie came out, so I was, and I was only about a year away from really having gotten into horror, so I was like gobbling up everything that was coming out. And that was a rare theatrical release for a small kind of independent movie that really got some traction, because its claim to fame is it came within, I think, like $100,000 or something like that of beating Ishtar on its opening weekend. That's how, it really kind of connected. And what I liked about that movie is it's a PG, I think it's PG-13, but it's got some pretty hard moments in it. Some pretty scary crap that goes on in it. So it's not a soft movie by any stretch at all.
Right.
And the stop motion animation and the forced perspective effects in it are just brilliant. They're really amazing. And I love the little creatures. I love the way they walk around. They just kind of hop around like this, and it's great. I mean, I really like them. And Steven Dorff is really good in it. Lewis Tripp, they're both very, very appealing actors. And the whole family is, you like them, you want to see what happens to them. That's one of the best movies in the collection. And my favorite thing to do for that was a piece. I went back up to Canada in Toronto where they filmed the movie, and I interviewed as many of the cast and crew that are still up there. And we did just like a featurette about the Canadian side of this thing and what it was like to work on that movie. It was really fun.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I love one of my favorite things that I've bought. You can kind of see it back there. Actually, they released the soundtrack
Oh,
for The Gates. I think it was TerrorVision released the soundtrack, and
Yeah.
they had like a slip. It's a slip case for a record of the Sacrifix.
oh right, yeah, it looks like
Album.
his album in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
The
which is
album in
great.
the
That's
movie.
a great idea.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool idea.
And that's
too,
one of the
so.
that one doesn't get like it technically isn't, but it was kind of one of those movies where they integrated heavy metal and backmasking and stuff like Trick or Treat and stuff. Well, it was part of that wave of heavy metal horror movies, but not really. So it can, because it's by far the best out of all of them. So I mean, that and Trick or Treat are the only two good ones. All the rest of them are varying levels of oh dear God.
No.
You know,
Black Roses.
like I said, oh dear God.
What?
Oh
I'm not
my
saying
God,
you're not-
Black Roses
I'm not-
money.
I'm not saying you can't have fun with it, but let's not kid ourselves.
Oh, I love Black Roses.
But so yeah,
know, I mean-
the Gate was great.
There's a 4K of Flesh Eater out. Black Roses needs a better edition.
That's now the argument people use. It's like there should be a 4K. No, you don't need to
Yes.
bother with a 4K of that. Flesh Eater has a 4K.
Right.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah. So once you've done Flesh Eater, you can do everything else.
I think there's issues with
sure.
Black Roses. I thought there was like they couldn't find it or something anymore.
There's some issues, kind of that and Rock and Roll Nightmare. There's some issues kind
Yeah.
of clouding those up right now, but we'll see what happens. But
Hey, Slippy, for my own personal enjoyment, talk about working on this one.
That one was a lot of fun. Everyone really came out for that and celebrated. But what was weird is I actually had started working on that for DVD back when I did The Gate and The Wraith originally, and then they canceled it. So I had a couple of interviews that just never, including one with Carl Crew that we filmed that I wasn't there for, but my producer Shayna was. And I got the footage back and I'm watching this and I'm like, there is no editing this. There is no, because he was basically just going in and out of these characters the whole time, and he spent a lot of time pretending to be an old black woman for some reason.
We've been there, Sleepy. We've been there.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's just like, the only thing I could do is put a title card up in front of this interview. Ladies and gentlemen, the following interview could not be edited. Enjoy. And
this guy's a little out there.
He's very eccentric, Carl Crew, very eccentric guy. Great guy though, very, very easy to work with. And he ended up doing a new interview for the Blu-ray, which was more of a traditional interview, but along with everybody else, including Jackie Kong. And that movie's got a life to it, man. People dig that flick.
Jackie Kong lets you kind of come out of the shadows after all that. She's on Facebook now.
She's very easy to. There was a period there where Jackie Kong was more myth than reality. It was just like, you've heard of Jackie Kong, yes, but you heard she was like locked up in an asylum somewhere, and it's just like she can't. They won't let her make movies anymore. It turns out she just kind of got out of the business, and when she realized that people actually cared about the stuff I did, she's thrilled now to be out there and everything. No, she was great to work with. I haven't talked to her in a long time, but everyone was on that. We got a lot of participation on that.
Continuing on, though. Next one up is a 4-pack, and I really like that Lionsgate decides to go this route, because other studios, they're just going to nickel and dime the fans to death, do separate releases for each of these movies, but they put all 4 of the Wishmaster movies in one set. So what was that like working on? I don't know if I don't have the set, but is there like extras for each of the movie?
There's extras on, yeah.
Yeah, there's quite, especially for the first one, because I know Robert Kurtzman really well, and he was all too happy to participate, and got a lot of interviews and commentary tracks and behind-the-scenes footage, and did a great commentary with Jack Shoulder for the second movie, which is actually a lot of fun. The second one's pretty fun. Not really much of anything on 3 and 4 that I can recall. There just wasn't really much of a budget left to do anything for those, and
no, they had jabroni Wishmasters in those too, right? That was like,
hey, Chris Angel directed part 4.
Not Chris. Not
the
me, Chris.
That would have been so awesome.
No, so yeah, we did. It was kind of like Warlock. It was a situation where for the first one second one a little bit more, and then for the third one not so much.
Yeah, they hired somebody at the Goodwill store to play the Warlock in the third one.
It was Bruce Payne. He was fine. He was actually fine.
The first Wishmaster movie, though, man, that was actually a big success, a big mainstream success back in the day. People don't really talk about that anymore.
It was actually a great movie too. I mean, it was a little independent.
I actually like the second one more. It's actually more fun. It's got more outrageous gags in it. But the first 2 are both really, really good, and Andrew Divoff is just terrific.
Oh yeah, he's perfect.
He's one of those. He's one of those rare actors who you can put a shit ton of makeup on him, and he can actually make it work for him. He can actually emote through it and use it and make it like, there's actually, because some actors you put a shit ton of makeup on them and it just seems to kill them. They just don't know how to emote through it, and he's one of those ones that can just do wonders with it. So he's a great guy to talk in real life. In one of the friendliest, most agreeable dudes ever, and him and Tony Moyer is the lead actress, I think is her name. I can't remember her name now.
And didn't
he did?
It's not Tony Moyer.
Didn't Jack Shoulder direct the second one?
He did. We did a commentary for it. I've worked with Jack now like about 6 times.
That guy's directed some amazing films, really.
And I keep forgetting. It's like, that's right, Jack did do that. Yeah. Yeah, I just worked with him last year or the year before on Alone in the Dark. Finally got to do Alone in the Dark. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. But no, Wishmaster was fun. It was fun.
Angus Scrimm actually was like a narrator in the first one, too, which I thought was kind of...
Every horror celebrity's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Robert
Englund.
Tony Todd, Kane Hodder.
Yeah.
Reggie Bannister's in there. Joe Pilato's in there. I mean, everybody.
I was
Bannister
watching. I don't remember this at all. The movie Monster from like 2003 with Charlize Theron. Kane Hodder is in the very end of it as like an undercover cop. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, and I didn't know that either when I saw that movie.
didn't know that.
I was like, huh? Oh, hey, Kane, what you doing there?
That's odd. Yeah, I
Yeah,
wonder how
yeah.
that came about.
Well, it's cool to see him. Yeah.
Yeah. So Wishmaster said, what was the retail on that when that came out? Had to
That
be
was
a little
a
bit more than.
$50 one or something. I don't remember. That was during the period where these were kind of high priced, so that one may have been a little higher. But yeah, it still wasn't terribly unreasonable to get 4 movies with it.
Yeah, at some point in time, I guess when the resurgence a couple of years ago, this line, they decided to cut the costs pretty much. What was the reason behind
I
that?
think to sell more titles. I think they realized that maybe it was just a better price point, especially if they were going to get into mass retailers, whatever ones are left.
Right.
So because they do carry them in Walmart, you'll find them in Walmart now.
Yep.
So Target, and so it's been working for them apparently. So forget it. Hey,
Yeah, I know some of the
All right,
titles
I
were
love it.
even like $7.88 on discount not too long ago.
yeah, they'll go through periods where you can gobble them up pretty cheap.
The
And you know what else is
Unholy-
cool about them is that the packaging doesn't melt.
No outgassing.
No.
No, I don't think there's any off gassing or
They,
outgassing or.
they must have just looked out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's well, yeah.
So the Unholy, Sleepy. This was another one that was in that big lot of the
It was.
multi-packs.
That is in my top 3 as my favorite Vestron titles to work on. It's not my favorite movie of it. I don't think the movie's that great. But what was great about it is I got everybody I went out for, and I got the things that I've been wanting to. I've known for years that the ending had been switched. They went back and reshot the ending. But as it turns out, they finished the original ending, and the producer had a print of the ending. So we were able to transfer that and use it on the Blu-ray. And the guy who wrote the movie or produced it originally, he did the score for the film as well. And they rejected his score at the last minute and replaced it with someone else's. Well, he still had his score recordings. So I was able to go in there and put those on the Blu-ray and do an interview with him about why the score was rejected and so forth. It was wonderful. I like everything that I could possibly want for The Unholy I got. And that was really awesome. That doesn't happen all the time.
Who
And that
directed that, Sleepy? You remember?
Camille Villa, not a director known for horror really, but it's a better film than I remembered it being, because I'm not much of a religious themed horror guy. I never really have been, but the ending doesn't. I don't think the old ending. I can see why they didn't use it, but it was, I think, a better ending than the one they ended up with, because the creature doesn't work very well. It looks great when it's not moving. But then when it starts to move, you're like, oh, that's clearly a guy in a suit.
Now, a lot of these movies, too, like we were talking, like The Unholy was one that, aside from that multi-pack, had never really been out on anything
No.
before. And that was
Just-
always with Lionsgate. They just set on these titles for that long.
Well, that one was a Vestron Pictures release, so that was owned entirely by them and had been part of the Vestron catalog since day one. Because, see, some of these titles are Vestron when they got into the motion picture business and made their own movies. Some of these are those titles. And then there's other ones where they had a long-term video deal or it's a part of another catalog that they've acquired since then. That's why some of the titles weren't necessarily Vestron VHS releases, but there's certainly titles that had Vestron gotten a hold of and they would have released them back in the day. It's more of an in the spirit type of thing.
Right.
Cool.
No, I like what they're doing, man. I really do.
I do too. I'm happy.
It's
to
a
keep
shame
working.
that Trick or Treat's not coming out until December, though. I'm let down by that.
I don't know anything about that.
The
Yeah, be good stocking stuffer though.
Now you wonder though. You wonder if they do Ghoulies, if they have the access to do them all 4 of them in one pack.
The only one they have the rights to is Ghoulies Go to College. The others are.
You don't need any more of them. Ghoulies Go to College is what you need, really.
It's actually my favorite of all 4 of them. Is part 3. So I would love to. No. It's the titles come up in discussions. We've talked about doing it, and at some point we probably will. But
What?
because someone's redoing the first two, and they're going to have those back out. So
In 4K, I hear.
something. Well, why not? Again, Flesh Eater. Hey. So if
I'll
that's
buy
out,
Ghoulies in 4K.
yeah, Ghoulies too. Sure, why not?
Most
We
of
gotta-
these titles in these multi-packs. What about the Return of the Living Dead sequels? They were in one of these. Who owns that?
I think Lionsgate still owns them, and we've been trying to figure out a way to bury them as deep in the ground as possible.
Well, we're talking about Necropolis and Rave to the Grave from like
You know,
Rave to the
2004.
grave, bar.
For the longest time, someone was selling the worldwide rights and the negatives on eBay for both those movies, and no one bid.
How much were they trying to get?
They were trying to get like 15 grand or some shit.
I was going
like
to say
that.
if it was cheap enough, I'm sure Severin or somebody'd fucking buy it.
God.
Not really. I can't. Those are not ones that we're actively considering to bring back out because no one wants them.
They really are like horrible, like beyond
Look, I
explanation.
I would love to hear the stories behind the making of these things, but they are not easy movies to watch.
no.
Well, it's like Creep Show 3. We were talking about that. Somebody made us watch that again.
Why?
I would buy
Why?
Do you know anything? We were talking about this while
Why?
we were watching the movie. Do you know anything about the making of that movie? Like how that came to be in terms of like who would make that? And why the fuck would you like choose
You
to
got
make
the
that
name.
that way?
You
I really
got
don't
the
know- I
Creep
really
Show
don't- I-
franchise, and that's what
I
they
really-
fucking released.
I really don't know anything about it. It was made by the owners of the franchise, so that's all I can tell you.
I mean, what we were saying is you could go around to film festivals and pick a random 20-minute independent film here and there, and it would have been a gazillion times better than what they did.
That's actually not a bad way to try to do it.
There was a dude that choked to death on a hot dog, killing people.
You want to buy
The ghost of a dude that choked to death on a fucking hot dog was in this movie.
Yep.
But you understand this.
And that was really the only one that we could tell what the hell was going on in. The other ones was like, I don't know what I'm watching here.
Anyway,
Felsher, there was a man that choked to death on a hot dog. He was a ghost, and he caused other people to choke to death on a hot dog.
That segment was called The Haunted Dog.
I just thought I'd
no,
Bring that
it's fine.
yeah.
The last one, though, from the first year, because we're just covering the first year, is another box set. July the 25th, 2017, The Warlock Collection. For some reason, they made 3 Warlock movies.
No.
Yeah, they again, it was a situation like with Wishmaster where good budget on the first one, somewhat decent on the second one, and then whatever pennies were left over went into some other sequels. And not to knock their efforts, they tried, they really did try, but Warlock 3 didn't turn out all that great. And Warlock 2 is a lot of fun. Anthony Hickox did that one, and again, Julian Sands was still in that one by that point, and they were fun movies. And they got Steve Miner to come in and do a commentary and an interview, I think, and Julian Sands. I interviewed Julian Sands when he was here in Detroit for a convention.
What was he like?
Great, really nice guy. Really nice guy. He had some great anecdotes about the production, and yeah, no, he was great. I don't have any bad memories of the Warlocks at all. There just wasn't quite as much to do with those as I would have liked. Some people just weren't available for it. But you do what you can.
So Hickox, didn't he direct Waxworks too?
Yeah, he did the Waxwork movies, Sundown.
Yeah, he did. That's the one I was trying to think of.
Yeah, I've worked with Tony a bunch of times now.
He did one of the Hellraiser movies, too, didn't he?
3.
Yeah.
He did number 3. Yeah. He did a really great werewolf movie called Full Eclipse too, which hasn't really gotten re-released, which needs to.
Yeah,
He also,
he's a British filmmaker, is that correct, Anthony? Okay.
Yeah, he's the son of Douglas Hickox, who did Theater of Blood with Vincent Price, and Andy Coates, the legendary film editor who did Lawrence of Arabia and And his brother, James D.R. Hickox, did Children of the Corn 3.
Ooh.
The one with
Is
the
that
big,
Urban Harvest?
Yeah, that's the one with the big corn monster at the end. I love that one. I love part 3.
That's so killer.
Bradley Taylor's got something that's interesting here. I didn't know this. Has Steve Miner never done a commentary for Friday the 13th Part 3?
I don't think so. No, he's been kind of. Did he finally do something on the last set? Either I could have sworn he finally did something for it. One of the 2 sequels in the last Friday the 13th box set, but I can't remember. I wasn't involved with that.
Yeah, the second movie. I don't know.
But no, I don't think he's been kind of hands off on doing a lot of stuff on the Friday the 13th movies. But I've worked with Steve now 3 times. I worked with him on House and Warlock and something else, but I can't remember what it is now all of a sudden. But he's a great guy. I've had no problems with Steve at all. He's been wonderful to work with.
Yeah, he's got an interesting filmography too. I mean, just
Yeah, he went big. He went big
time.
time. Yeah, he went big time there for a while. He was doing Mel Gibson movies, and and then he came back to horror with H2O, and they did like Texas Rangers, and they did the Day of the Dead remake, and he's been up and down and all over the place. He's had a long and very highly varied career.
Was the Day of the Dead remake the one where Bub was a vegetarian?
I think that's the one. They've remade it so many times now I've lost track, but
Yeah, there's like a new it's just Day of the Dead. Like, I don't know how many just Day of the Dead movies there are out there.
too many.
Contagion.
I know one that's we were going to ask about though, Sleepy. A lot of people are curious if Night of the Living Dead, the 30th anniversary edition, is going to get a 4K treatment.
Oh, actually, it's funny you should mention that. The
God.
Oh, hell, balls. We didn't want that.
Shit.
We killed him. We finally did it. All right, everybody.
no.
Did you? That was Anchor Bay, was it not?
Yeah, but it was before I got there.
Okay.
Yeah, this
What
was
the fuck is
98.
the story with that movie? Like, who thought that was a good idea and why?
I don't want to. I don't know.
You know. So come
No,
on.
it
It's
was-
been like 30 years.
It's John Russo. Don't lie. Come on.
Well, no,
It's
it was.
his
I think
baby.
it was. I think it was John Russo's idea. And,
Oh, God.
and George originally was going to be more involved, and then little by little, it just wasn't going to work out. But he still gave his blessing to it, and then he went off and made it, and then it went over the way it went over, and
Like a fart in church, boss.
Yeah.
yeah, it's not my favorite thing that I've ever watched. I'll say
I think that's one of the things that's kind of been lost to the hands of time a little bit too, that we were talking about a few months ago on the show. People didn't even know that exists, which is a good thing, I guess.
Yes, it is. I had little or no fun watching that.
We really enjoyed it. We recently did a commentary thing for it. We
That
really
new
thought
soundtrack was badass.
Yeah, that really kicked it up a notch.
Who are you? Are you a victim of outgassing?
Yes, we've been outgassing all the time.
Oh, my brains is so greasy.
They're too crazy.
I'm going to do a live ungreasing on the mid-level media channel on
A
Tuesday.
degreasing. You got to do a degreasing.
The degreasing. There you go.
All right, so question, Slippy, actually related to the topic. So all these like first year releases, how did the line do overall?
Overall, pretty good. I mean, there was some did better than others. Chopping Mall was very, very successful, and I think Blood Diner, and there were. I mean, obviously, like something like The Gate's going to do well because it has a much more of a built-in audience than say something like Parents, and you're feeling their way around. I think the price point might have hurt them on some titles, but overall, I mean, it's still going. So obviously, it did well enough. And then when we got into the second and third year, that's when some really interesting stuff started happening. Yeah, no, it was crazy because we put a lot of those into production really all at once. So I was working on several of those all at the same time, and that's why people have to remind me. Say, when did you do the special features for Parents? Sure, if you say so. I mean, I don't. It's all kind of a blur. And that was back when I was, also doing tons of stuff for Screen Factory and Arrow and everything like that. So it's all just kind of a big blur. But the Vestron thing was really, it's a passion project. So I'll keep doing them as long as they'll let me keep doing them.
Now, do they have plans on going 4K with this line, or are they just going to stick to Blu-ray? Do you know?
There have been a couple of just talks about a couple of titles maybe doing 4Ks on. But nothing really has come across yet. But my argument to them is, hey, they did Flesh Eater in 4K.
That should be your argument.
Well,
You really should.
Yeah,
The
but there
game
are
in 4K would be really cool.
which one?
I mean,
The game would be cool. I mean, there's several that would be, I think, logical titles to do in 4K. But we'll have to wait and see. But if 4K keeps going the way it's going, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the titles come out day and date with a 4K release, or we go back and do some more.
You wonder if like Monster Squad I don't know if Lionsgate still has it.
That's not over there anymore. No,
not, right.
That was part of the Republic catalog that left a long time ago. I don't know where it is now, but no, that's not over there. And that would have been a logical 4K. They could have just released that by itself.
Right.
They wouldn't need the Vestron line for that. That's why you don't see the Vestron's line is really to help promote films that don't have a home otherwise. That's why a Vestron Pictures title like Dirty Dancing, which is a Vestron title, it doesn't need the Vestron Pictures line, the Vestron video line to do it. Because it's Dirty Dancing. It's all, it can handle itself just fine. So, but it's they're one successful theatrical title.
As far as like one of the big titles that we've talked about for a long time, and Second Sight did a killer, I mean, it probably can't be topped, edition of Dawn of the Dead over there in the UK. Mm-hmm. Dawn of the Dead's finally getting a theatrical run. It's the 3D version.
Right.
They're getting a re-release out this
fall.
fall.
Yeah, that's great.
Do you think it's a little bit more likely that maybe next year he's going to be more open to maybe finally, after I don't know how many years, doing some sort of physical release here in the U.S.?
I really don't know.
3D version. Or is he stuck on the 3D version because that technology?
No, not really. I don't think that's I think that has been in development and being worked on for so long. I remember him working on that back when I was still at Anchor Bay, and I left there 17 years ago.
Wow.
I mean, it's been a long process with that 3D version. So, I mean, you could do a 3D Blu-ray of that or something if you wanted to, but maybe he's finally decided just to let it out to play in the theaters. Because I hear it actually looks pretty good. I can't see it because I have a defect in my left eye since birth, and it's permanently out of focus, so it fucks up 3D for me. So I won't be able to take advantage of that. But look, I'm glad it's coming back out, and maybe that'll speed up a domestic release of the film here. I don't know. It's Rich. It's Richard. Rich will do whatever he wants when he wants to do it.
Yeah, that's
the way it works.
And another one that people always ask about because, well, I guess it's the 40th anniversary of this year's Creep Show. What do you think the likelihood is of a 4K of that, and maybe include that documentary you did with it?
I would say a 4K is pretty likely. It's been remastered in 4K and recolor time by Mike Gornick, so it's possible. I don't know who would bring it out, if Warner Brothers would do it themselves, or maybe if Scream did another deal with them. I don't know. But someone will do a 4K of Creep Show, at some point. That's I would think certainly something we'll be seeing in the not too distant future. I would think at this point.
40th anniversary edition, man, it'd be good year
That'd
to
be
bring
great.
it out.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's happening now.
No, not this year. I don't think. No, but I don't know. But I would love to see it with the colors on that movie. Ooh, that would be wonderful to watch.
Maybe some company can get all three of the Creep Show movies and do a box set.
There's only two. I don't know what you're talking about.
Somebody just did a big box set. I think it was 1, 2, and then your documentary in it, wasn't it? Didn't someone do a nice set about that?
Yeah, it was in Germany or France or somewhere, and they did
it. Looked really cool.
It did look nice. I have to get a hold of one of those. As it turns out, I found out at Living Dead Weekend, there's that Evil Dead documentary, Hail to the Deadites, that's out. Apparently on the British DVD or Blu-ray release, I'm on the back cover of it.
What?
Really?
Holding my little. I have an Evil Dead collectible that I made out of one of the shutters, and I'm holding it, and they put me on the back cover for some reason. And I saw it. I was like, well, what the hell am I doing there? I mean, I'm in the documentary, but it's just like, what the hell me? Who looked at that and went, yeah, put that guy on the back cover. That'll sell some DVDs.
Well, that's the
you know?
legendary slipster of style. He's
Yeah.
selling some slips.
It's like a slipcase filter, baby. Woo, sucky
Look
now.
at now.
Goddamn
Yeah.
hurry.
Goddamn hurry! I want to watch some DVDs. But so I thought that I haven't gotten a copy of that yet. But I thought that was fun. I was like, God, really? I'm on the back cover? Okay, that's a first. I'm not even on the back cover of anything I actually did. You know, so it's like, you know, but whatever.
No, that's why we were like, we're briefly, I don't know what it is. I guess it's the documentary or something like that. Vinegar Syndrome mentioned Dead Pit Radio on the back of their fucking case, and we marked out.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was like an interview that we did with Madman that they included or something like that.
Oh, cool.
I don't think the Code Red edition ever mentioned us, so there was finally a little shout out there.
No.
So
No.
even though I'm excited about the resurgence of Dark Force Entertainment and David DeFalco, brother,
The Falconator.
he gets on live Facebook Live. He acts like he's getting ready to go into UFC fight or something.
I don't know. I don't know the guy. I've never met him, so I can't really say anything.
He's a great guy.
He seems like a good dude.
Tech Notes Tonka 2000.
Don't know what you're talking to. There you go. That'd be a good gimmick for him.
Anyways, all right. So of this first year, what would you recommend? Like somebody that doesn't know anything about the Vestron titles, like what should they pick up?
All of them.
Shit.
No shit. I'm going to Return of the Living Dead 3 is one that I want to buy because I don't have it.
Yeah, I do too.
Was that first year?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. And we got the unrated version, and I was so happy we got Melinda Clark to talk about that because she's so cool in that movie. Let's see. Yeah, I would recommend Shopping Mall, Blood Diner, certainly The Gate, Return 3.
Parents.
Yeah, no.
Chud 2.
Chud 2.
Bud
Oh
the
God, yeah,
Chud.
Chud.
Bud the Judd.
And then I would.
Did you talk to Cynthia Garris about writing that song?
No. No.
Shit.
I would have loved to have asked Robert Englund, how the hell did you end up in that movie? You just see him walking across the street.
Maybe
with
he was just really, it was just happenstance. He was just there and they just filmed him. He was walking
Yeah,
across the street.
it was such an odd thing. It's just like, oh, there's Robert Englund. Bye. All right.
That's Robert Englund, like in the corner there walking.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know why. Yeah, it was just one of those things where it's like, that was cool, was it? I just went walking across the street. It's like, all right. But there you go. Still, I'm sure he doesn't even remember. It's like, all I remember is I was walking across the street and they were filming me. I didn't know it was for a movie. Shit. I was on my way to the next Freddy movie. I didn't give a fuck. You know. But I am working on I'm going to work on
There's your niece.
My niece.
Yeah.
I have a niece.
Melody Felcher.
Melody. Who the hell is that?
You don't know your own niece? What the hell?
What's going on here, boss?
I don't
Playing it
know.
aloof.
But I would, you know, I gotta tell you, I want to. I'm launching a personal campaign to work on a 4K re-release of Howling New Moon Rising. I want
Jesus.
a Howling New Moon Rising 4K release.
Well, Vinegar Syndrome will do it. I guarantee.
You know what you could
Someone,
do?
well,
This
the
would
problem
be
with
great.
that movie is it was edited on video, so there's no HD elements for that. You'd have to literally go back and reconstruct it shot for shot, which I will do, goddammit, because Howling New Moon Rising is the greatest film ever made. Because I will say this, I have never watched a film where I disagreed with every single creative choice the director made. Every single time, every single decision, it's like, nope, wouldn't have done that. Nope, that was a bad idea. Nope, that was not a good call. Nope. It was just like, what the fuck?
He kind of mentioned that Ghoulies 3 is on the way.
Yeah, I don't think he's holding out.
I'm not holding out. I'm not. It's in discussion, but it's not on the way. It's not on the schedule or anything. But it's been brought up. So
Now he
Did
is
they already-
holding out about Trick or Treat, but that's a whole other story.
Did they announce? They didn't announce Earth Girls Are Easy. Did they announce that already? I thought someone did.
Yeah, I
Earth
think
Girls
that
Are
was in
Easy.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything about that.
there. Really? I thought I heard about that too.
I thought I did too. Yeah.
No, I didn't. See
Maybe that
anything
was
about
just a disc father on Twitter sort of deal. That guy makes a bunch of shit up and posts it.
It's getting hard to keep track of what's real and what isn't real out there.
There's stuff every day. Every day there's something. I'm like,
Oh, it's brutal.
it's insane. Like, you know.
Well, there was that period there where the Elm Street box set got announced with cover art and everything. And
They really had me marking out. I thought that was the truth. I thought it was
yeah,
going to be
I know
released.
that you thought it was the truth because I got texts going, "Hey, buddy, look at this shit." I knew you was lying to us. You
No.
were lying to us. And I'm like, no, it's a lie. It's a lie.
There is something to that, though. Wasn't that a proposal shot or something like that?
I don't know what the hell it was. It wasn't real, whatever it was.
I don't know, wasn't there like some big rumor that like the dude who posted that was like somebody who was like recently let
Yeah,
go by the company
yeah.
or something like that?
He was like a disgruntled worker. That was the rumor. So what is the real cover to that going to look like, Sleepy?
It's going to be me going like this.
Damn it. One of these fucking days.
Honestly, though, if there is
you
an Elm,
ask me those questions like I'm suddenly going to go, well, let me tell you, friend.
Well, you
I
know
think
what else seems
I'll
like
catch you off guard one of these days.
Yeah.
What about like doesn't Lionsgate own the sequels to Silent Night, Deadly Night? Those other three?
I think 3, 4, and 5. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a cool set. I
That
think.
would be a great set to do. Because, I mean, those movies are about as connected to Christmas.
And what? It's gonna be the
one is.
December release. The December release.
I mean, those movies are like the Howling sequels. You're just like, now what the hell happened here? You know, it's just like the third one. It's like directed by Monty Hellman, who's like one of the like a legendary independent director who had no business doing a Silent Night, Deadly Night sequel at any point during his career. And Bill Moseley's in it, barely speaks anything, and he's got his brain in a clear bowl on his head for most of the picture, and nothing really happens in it. And then part 4, I don't think does it mention Christmas? I don't remember that it did. But it's got like a woman and her fingers get all twisty, and Clint Howard has a maggot that he walks around with most of the time, and then part
4 is
5
like one of those movies that I just can't retain anything from it at all. Like, as soon as I'm
No, I
finished
can't
with it,
even
it's like
remember
I've
that
never seen
movie.
it. Yeah.
Well, part 5
movie.
has like Mickey Rooney as this sort of weird, demented Geppetto-like figure, and Brian Bremer
toy
from
maker.
Pumpkinhead is this Pinocchio that goes out of control, tries to hump a woman at the end of the picture. It's just like
It does.
I know, and it's just like after the movie's over, you're just like, how didn't this start off with a killer Santa like a long time ago?
Dude,
How did this
there's
end up with this?
But
There's
they're pretty fun movies though. I
They
feel
are
like.
fun, and I would love to just
Part
do them all.
5, especially. I think
yeah.
part
Oh,
5 is like. Yeah.
5 is my favorite of the 3 too, because it's so whacked out and weird.
Because it's Pedo's toy store. Think about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, pedo.
Pino. It was Pinocchio. It's Pino instead. But yeah, and what's weird is it's Mickey Rooney starring in it, who famously went on a tirade publicly about the first Silent Night, Deadly Night when it came out. This is disrespectful to Santa and Christmas, and how dare they, and such and such. Mickey, here's a lot of money to play in the 5th one. Absolutely.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, well, I guess we see what happens here.
So is the 4, 5, and 6 Howling, has that been out on anything before? I think
No, there was a Blu-ray, I think, like one of the budget companies put out, but it was all upscale. There's never been any HD transfers of any of those.
What's the? I have some Howling set in like a tin, like a big tin. Is that?
Yeah,
more
that
fun
was.
thing?
Yeah, that's. I think it's some combination of either 3, 4, and 5, or 4, 5, and 6, and it varies. Sometimes it's 3, and they skip over 4, and those movies are so weird. I love the Howling sequels so much, all of them, because none of them make any sense.
No.
And I mean, part 5 is my favorite because it's a really well made movie. In this like castle during a snowstorm, and one by one the people get knocked off. It's like an Agatha Christie story. Barely any werewolf in it at all. I mean, it's just like almost zero. And it's just like, okay, well, I don't know what this has to do with Howling, but it's fun to watch, you know. And the part 4 was great because it has one of the most memorable transformation sequences in werewolf movie history. A guy literally melts into a puddle of goo, and then out of the puddle of goo comes the werewolf. You would think that's a really stupid way to do it, and I guess it is, but it looks really cool the way they did it. And so it's like, all right.
Maybe that's what Scream Factory's trying to do. Maybe the goo
What the fuck?
is going to... You wait long enough and it'll turn into a fucking werewolf and it'll all
Turns
be
into an 8K. Yeah.
Like the child,
Yeah.
the child's plays like after a couple of years, Chucky comes out of the goo, like a
Chucky comes out of the goo!
that figure that they promised you. It's like they're like, it's coming in December. That's when he's gonna emerge from the goo.
Ah! Chucky, I'm coming from the goo!
The prom night sequel.
I would love to see especially part 2. Part 2
Yeah.
is such a good... but parts 2 and 3, the rights are kind of in flux at the moment on all those. But
You're working on the Vinegar Syndrome. I don't know how much you're doing on it. The 4K of Texas Chainsaw 2. Anything? That's coming out in October, isn't it? Isn't that the
I
date?
believe so, I think. I'm not sure if they've announced a full date, but yeah, I did I redelivered a lot of stuff that I had previously done and remastered some things, and then I did a couple of new things for it. And then they did some other stuff on their own because they went back and interviewed some other people I already interviewed, so I was like, they can handle that stuff. But it's going to look fantastic. I can tell you that much. Because it's the first time, turns out, I had been under the impression they had gone back to the original negative for at least one of the previous HD transfers. Negative's never been touched. They went back to the IP, so when they got access to, for, you know, the 4K, you definitely want to go back to the original negative to suck out as much detail as you possibly can. And they went to the original negative and it had never been touched before, so it's gonna look really great.
You don't have any info on the new Amityville they just announced today, do you?
No,
Nothing.
I didn't do anything on that one.
That's a pretty big title for them, I think.
Yeah.
And what is the deal with Vinegar Syndrome too? I don't know if you know. Have you been to their headquarters and all that? Do they have like all that equipment there?
They have their own facilities up in, I think, Massachusetts or somewhere like
Connecticut.
Connecticut, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's part of another company called, I think, OCN Digital. I don't know the exact breakdown of how it works. But yeah,
so, I mean,
it's you know, it's kind
whereas
of
other companies,
it's one-stop shopping. Yeah.
Yeah, they have to pay to get that shit done, and Vinegar Syndrome pretty much just gets the material and boom.
Yeah. They handle a lot of that stuff in house. They don't have to go out too often. In fact, they do work for a lot of other companies too.
Yeah, I'm interested in shit like that for some reason. But guys, it has been fun. Slippy, we'll have to get you whenever we do year 2.
Yeah,
we'll go ahead and just get you.
Yeah.
We'll get you on.
Year 2 has a lot of good
and then we do have a series that I discussed with you that I think is going to be fun. That probably be the end of the month, maybe next month. We'll get. We're going to start looking at some. I don't know if they're forgotten Romero movies, but that's what we're going to call the show, Forgotten Romero.
Okay. I can definitely talk about that.
Yeah. You and there's one other particular guy that is a mega fan of Romero for years and years and years. So
I'm sure I
we'll
know
just
him.
leave it at that. You probably met him numerous times.
Yeah, I'm sure I do. We are a tight knit bunch. So.
All right, but Garrett, I know you got some shows coming up.
Yeah, man. I got. I'll be with you on Tuesday on Mid Level Media's show. I don't know if UB's gonna be there or not, but we will be
He
there.
wasn't invited.
No, I didn't fucking get invited to it.
And then next Friday, I'll be doing a Rad Pack episode with Mel and Justin. We're gonna be talking Encino Man. So if you guys are digging that movie from 1992, come check it out over on my channel at Born to Be Rad. So those are the two big ones I have coming up.
We's in the juice.
We's in the juice. Eat the juice.
I haven't seen that movie in years, but I remember it being okay. I like it.
Now, Wes, you want to talk about a drop going on or no?
Yeah, we actually have a series since it's September. What's the 2nd now? Because it's past fucking midnight. a series of shirts that we're dropping just for the Halloween spooky season. And I'll play that on the way out, just give you a little bit of a preview on some of those. So shop.deadpit.com and shop.borntoberad.com. You can get your Crestwood Madman shirt. You remember those Crestwood books, Sleepy?
No.
The monster books? They were in like those were classic.
Public library at like school libraries and
I
stuff.
probably know what you're talking about. I just haven't seen them. And
Yeah, they're worth a flat fortune now.
of course, it's old. It's worth a fortune.
Sleepy, you got a podcast you're doing too.
Yeah, I'm on the Spooky Horror Show with a few friends of mine, and we have a new episode every month. And we just did a special Monster Squad tribute with Fred Decker and Andre Gower that went over really well. And we're taping our next episode, I think, in about another week and a half. So we'll be finishing out the year and got a lot of good stuff coming up. So check it out.
Yep, definitely.
Cool, very cool. Well, guys, yeah, it's past my bedtime. We appreciate everybody coming out.
I think it's called the Spooky Picture Show.
Wait a minute.
I'm so bad.
You forgot the name of your fucking show.
I'm always so bad. Oh man, if Gibbs hears about this, he's gonna kill me.
Chris is pissed.
He's in here, I think.
Is he
Yeah,
in
he's
here?
there. Yeah, he's in
Oh,
here.
he's gonna.
Oh,
Shit. He is going to shoot me in the face. He's gonna
Over here.
I just saw him last weekend at ScreamCon.
Oh, was he there?
Yeah, he was there.
No, he is gonna shoot me in the fucking face. Because I always make a joke about it on the show when I'm doing the intro. Hi, welcome to the Spooky Flower Power Hour thing, and whatever the hell it is. But let me make sure that because I swear to God, yes, it's the Spooky Picture Show. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so please, and if you see Chris McGibbons out there, don't tell him I did this.
He's in the chat.
He's already here.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
I don't see him in the chat. You bet. I don't.
He's under an alias.
Yeah, there's an alias under there.
Oh man, I'm so fucked. He's gonna kick. He's never gonna let me hear the end of this.
Well, when we sign off, you'll be getting a phone call. So at 12:15 a.m.
Spooky.
Look at East.
I did hear.
Look at Eastside Motel.
Oh, I think I know which one he is now.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. A little. All right. Yes, it's the Spooky Picture Show. Go listen to it or not. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Scream Bloody Gore, the multimillionaire. Again, thanks for the $200 super chat.
Dude.
Yep.
Thank
I think
you
it's the
so
biggest
much.
super chat we ever got.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
In one hit, I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
All right, guys. But yeah, it's good speaking with everybody. Good to see you again. Sleepy, we'll get you on.
Yeah.
For Forgotten.
Over here at deadtit.com.
Deadbradpitt.com.
Over at overgassing.com.
Shit.
All right, guys.
These discs are crazy.
You all
so
have a
crazy.
good night. I'm going to bed.
Night.
Keep it creepy.
Bye.
Born number 2 BE Rad and Deadpit.com.
Spooky Picture Show. I'm so
Give us a thumbs up.
Up your butt.
Like, subscribe, and if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do or
I
don't.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up, subscribe, and click that bell.
For this video officially, and it's Oak Curly Jaws has a message for you. Go on over to shop.deadpit.com and go look at their Team Public store right now. You got some new shirts like the Oak Early Jaws official t-shirt, which is brutal and badass. You got the Yummy Gummy shirt with the captain himself on the shirt. You got Uncle Bill's face on a fucking shirt. You got the Final Girl shirt. You got all these shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Get them before they're all out, especially the new one, Bedtime 1039. It doesn't get better than that, so go on out. Check out these shirts at shop.deadpit.com. Go look at their Team Public store. You're going to have a good old time. Get them all!
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.